He was once a notorious human trafficker, but after assuming another man's identity, he rose to power as a crime lord, commanding fear and loyalty. Let's get into the video and find out who is Mr. Negative. The man behind the moniker of Mr. Negative was originally a human smuggler and a member of the Chinese gang known as the Snakeheads. His true name has been lost to time, but his identity was forever altered during his journey to America. The Snakeheads were infamous for trafficking people under harsh and inhumane conditions. At the height of his criminal career, the man was chosen to oversee the transport of over 200 immigrants from China to the United States aboard the decrepit cargo ship the Golden Mountain. Among the passengers was Martin Lee, an optimistic man traveling to reunite with his wife who had been living in America on a student visa. However, the voyage turned grim as passengers endured months of squalor, disease, and starvation. Many succumbed to these conditions, including Lee. When the Golden Mountain finally reached its rendezvous point, disaster struck. Their contact never arrived to ferry the passengers ashore, leaving them stranded at sea. In desperation, the smuggler forced the crew to attempt to navigate through a storm, but they ran the ship aground. He then stole the identification papers of the deceased Martin Lee to use them to create a new identity, one that would allow him to escape and start a new life. Abandoned by the crew, the malnourished and dehydrated passengers tried to swim to the shore, but stood no chance of making it in their weakened state and all perished. The unnamed man survived the swim, and upon reaching the shore, he sought out his former snakehead associates, only to discover they had all been eliminated by Supervillain, a rival criminal boss consolidating his control over the area. He was captured and sent to Ellis Island, where he found himself at the mercy of Simon Marshall, one of Supervillain's operatives who was testing a dangerous new drug called D-Light on his captives. Alongside Tyrone Johnson and Tandy Bowen, the man survived the harrowing experiments and the three escaped. The experimental drug either bestowed upon them incredible superhuman abilities or unlocked the latent powers of the three. Tyrone and Tandy would go on to become the vigilantes known as Cloak and Dagger, while the man became the villain Mr. Negative. As Mr. Negative, he discovered he could manipulate dark force energy and transform into a reverse polarity version of himself, which drastically enhanced his strength, agility, and reflexes. Under the guise of Martin Lee, he started anew in Chinatown working in a garment factory. Through his hard work and ambition, he eventually bought the factory, laying the groundwork for his future empire. But his past caught up with him when the Dragon Lords, a gang once associated with his smuggling operations, brought the deceased Martin Lee's body to his widow Yana Lee and demanded payment for his transport. Yana couldn't pay, so the gang abducted her to work off her debt. In a calculated move, Mr. Negative took out the Dragon Lords that were holding her prisoner and then absorbed the remaining Dragon Lords into his growing criminal organization, solidifying his power in the criminal underworld. Yana Lee was now indebted to Mr. Negative to not reveal he had stolen her deceased husband's identity. Years later, Mr. Negative's influence led to a power struggle with the Hood, another major player in the New York City underworld. The war between them was characterized by brutal skirmishes and tactical maneuvers, with each side vying for dominance. Ultimately, while neither fully gained control, the conflict left Mr. Negative's reputation as a formidable and dangerous crime lord unshaken. Despite his criminal activities, Mr. Negative maintained his public image as Martin Lee, a compassionate philanthropist. His Feast project, created to help the homeless and underprivileged, expanded his reach and provided a perfect front for laundering money and recruiting loyal followers. His influence grew to the point where he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, cementing his status as a respected community leader. But he continued his criminal endeavors in the shadows, carefully balancing his dual life. Mr. Negative's encounters with Spider-Man added to the complexity of his story. He often tested Spider-Man's resolve, using his corrupted touch to turn his allies against him. Mr. Negative was also inadvertently responsible for creating Anti-Venom by curing Eddie Brock's cancer, further intertwining his fate with Spider-Man's rogue gallery. He has also clashed with other heroes and villains, including Cloak and Dagger, the Black Cat, and Norman Osborn, each conflict revealing more of his cunning and dark ambitions. Though his empire continued to grow, Mr. Negative's duality became a source of inner conflict. While his public persona of Martin Lee occasionally displayed genuine compassion, his darker side often reasserted control, leading him further down his villainous path. Mr. Negative possesses a range of extraordinary powers tied to his ability to manipulate dark force energy. His signature ability allows him to transform into a reverse polarity version of himself. In this form, he displays superhuman strength, agility, and reflexes, making him a formidable opponent in combat. He can charge objects with a unique form of electrical energy, enabling them to deliver a devastating shock upon contact. His most notable ability is his corruptive touch, which he can use to infect others with his dark energy. The corruption transforms the victim into a reverse polarity version of themselves, temporarily amplifying their abilities and making them loyal to Mr. Negative's will. However, not everyone is susceptible to his corruptive touch. Individuals like the Hood have demonstrated immunity. Mr. Negative can also use his powers for benevolent purposes, such as healing others of ailments or injuries. These powers, combined with his strategic mind, make Mr. Negative a dangerous force. Mr. Negative continues to adventure in the Marvel Universe. His duality as both a compassionate philanthropist and a ruthless crime lord make him a complex villain. Is Mr. Negative more driven by his desire for redemption, or is the philanthropy simply a clever ruse to mask his criminal ambitions? Share your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed exploring the Marvel character Mr. Negative, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. Thanks for watching. Peace.